Happy New Year, runners. I want to help you with your New Year's resolutions this year. And this video is for those runners who are trying to use running as a weight loss tool. I want to expose some of the big myths that I see perpetuated in the running community when we're trying to use running as a weight loss tool. It can be both very effective, but only if we use it in the right way. Okay, let us first recognize that running isn't the most effective way to lose a couple pounds. If your goal is weight loss, the number one tool that you have at your disposal to lose weight is what you're putting in your mouth. It's your diet. So the food that you're eating is way more important than the exercise that you're doing. So if your goal is weight loss, let's, number one, make sure that we're eating less than the calories that we're consuming is less than the calories that we're burning. We don't want to be in a calorie surplus, we want to be in a calorie deficit. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight, about 3,500 calories per pound. So if you add that up, those small deficits day after day, when it reaches about 3,500 calories, you're probably going to be losing about a pound. Now, running is actually one of the most effective forms of exercise for weight loss because it is very effective at burning calories. But it's much harder to burn calories than it is to ingest calories. So let's make sure that we're eating less than we're burning so that we're in a calorie deficit, a little one, gradually over time, and that's really going to help with our weight loss. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can I be in a calorie deficit if I'm also trying to train? And that's where we come with a big mistake. Runners can't train and try to lose weight at the same time. This is a classic mistake because when you're training, you need your calories. You need to be properly fueled for workouts and long runs. You can't be in a calorie deficit or else you're not going to be recovering enough from all those hard workouts. And because you're not recovering, you're not going to be adapting to all of those hard workouts and long runs. So if you're not adapting to those workouts, you're not really going to be getting too much better. You're not going to be improving or progressing. So if your goal is weight loss, we need to separate that goal from any of your race training goals. Let's focus on weight loss first, and then you can focus on training for a race. So once you've gotten your food choices under control, we've recognized that we have to be in a calorie deficit, which means we can't be training for a race at the same time. The next goal that we're going to do is let's just make sure that our training isn't all high intensity. I think a lot of folks think that if they're trying to lose weight, their exercise needs to be difficult. It needs to be hard. And so if you're running, that means a lot of hard running, a lot of fast running, a lot of HIIT workouts or intervals or hill sessions. While these will burn more calories, it also means that your training is so difficult you can't do this day after day. And the key to good weight loss is to make sure that you can be consistent with your exercise. So we should roughly be training in a similar way as we would for a race. Mostly easy with 1 or 2 high intensity sessions per week. This kind of a structure is going to make our exercise much more sustainable. It's going to make it much more effective at burning weight, at burning calories and helping us lose weight. Because if what we want to do is lose weight, we want a lot of zone 1, zone 2, a little bit of zone 3 running, because that's really effective at burning fat, while at the same time doing some high intensity work so that we can get our heart rate even higher, burn a lot more calories, and we can experience that exercise after burn effect where we're getting a little bit of extra calorie burn after we're done exercising because of the extra metabolic demands of that workout. So let's make sure that our training is varied. We don't want to do all high intensity work and we don't want to do all low intensity work. A healthy balance of the two is a great idea.
You know, I'm not that big into supplements, but I do love AG1 by Athletic Greens. I consider it my nutrition insurance, helping me cover all my bases so I know I'm not missing out on anything my body needs, especially when I'm training really hard. I try to eat really well, but of course, AG1 is that extra security that gives me peace of mind over my diet. 1 scoop per day, and I'm getting 75 vitamins and minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, antioxidants, and adaptogens. You can try it out too at athleticgreens.com/Jason, and they're going to throw in a free year's worth supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Check it out at athleticgreens.com/Jason.
Finally, our next big mistake that I see with runners trying to lose weight is only running. Even like when we're training for a race, we know that we shouldn't just be running. We should be doing other types of exercise within our program. The same is true for weight loss. If we want to be effectively losing weight, if we want to do this in the most healthy, sustainable, effective way possible, we can't just run. Running is great, but the other form of exercise that can be fantastic for weight loss is strength training, and particularly weightlifting in a gym. This is really effective at improving body composition, so building muscle and burning fat and improving that composition. It's also really great at that exercise afterburn. You're going to be burning more calories after a heavy weightlifting session than if you were just doing body weight strength exercises. And the other reason why strength training is so valuable for weight loss is because it really is an anabolic activity. Running is more catabolic. It breaks down muscle tissue. If you do high volume, if you do high intensity, and you're not eating enough or getting enough protein, it can lead to a breakdown in muscle. But strength training, and particularly heavy weightlifting, is the opposite. It's anabolic. It provides a flood of healthy, beneficial hormones that are really effective at helping you lose weight. So you're going to get this rush of growth hormone, of testosterone, of these great hormones that help you build muscle and put you in a hormonal environment where you are building that great tissue within your body rather than simply burning fat. You want to do both. Muscle burns more calories than fat, so we want a little bit more muscle and less fat. And that is a healthy body composition that's going to make keeping your new, healthy, ideal weight much more sustainable over the long term. So there you have it, runners. That is how you effectively lose weight with running. Avoid those big mistakes. Let's avoid thinking that your diet isn't important. Let's avoid training for a race and training for weight loss at the same time. Let's make sure our training is varied. So we're doing some low intensity work and some high intensity work, and we're gonna supplement everything with a healthy dose of weightlifting where you're actually lifting some relatively heavy weight. This is what makes weight loss sustainable in the long term. Now, of course, let's remember that not all weight loss is healthy. This is a loaded topic, and while distance running is surely a sport that somewhat self-selects for smaller body types, you don't need that body type to participate in the sport whatsoever, and we can certainly get lost down that rabbit hole of thinking that thinner is better. That's not true whatsoever, so let's make sure that any weight loss goal that we have is a healthy one, and we make that a sustainable effort over the long term. If this is interesting to you, then we have a Q&A with a registered dietitian where we talk about many weight loss topics at strengthrunning.com/nutrition-QA. So it's a nutrition Q&A, a 2-part series with a registered dietitian at strengthrunning.com/nutrition-QA. I think it's really helpful for those of you who have this goal this year. And if you do, best of luck. Let's do it in a healthy way. Let's get healthy and let's run faster.